This is the Iowa Weather Report for Thursday, September the 10th, 2015, and now our first look at the 0Z GFS Model Run at 1 p.m. this afternoon. A trough digging in across the upper Midwest and into the Great Lakes. This is bringing a storm system through the area with a couple of showers and a few isolated thunderstorms, but what it's going to also bring us is a lot cooler weather as we go into Friday and into the weekend. And we'll talk about that later on. But for right now today, a few showers and storms. Not everybody's going to see rain, but those that do could see a quarter to a third, maybe even a half an inch in some areas. But now as we move into Friday, that system is now off to our east and high pressure moves in, and it's bringing very cool conditions, a taste of fall. Highs into the 60s on Friday, low Saturday morning, and again Sunday morning could be in the, will be. They're not going to be. They will be in the 40s. Some cooler areas, especially valleys, could be in the upper 30s, especially Saturday morning. Not quite on Sunday morning, but 40s will be likely both Saturday and Sunday morning. Saturday and Sunday. Saturday will have highs in the 60s to lower 70s. A great day to go tailgate at the Iowa State game in Ames. And then here Sunday, temperatures begin to moderate as we go back into the 70s for highs as winds turn southwesterly. And this will keep warming us up as we move into the new work week here on Monday. We'll see readings well into the 70s here on Monday with southwesterly winds at about 10 to maybe 15 miles per hour. And even on Tuesday, we'll see temperatures still climbing back up into the middle and upper 70s, maybe a few 80s in some areas. The humidity levels will be inching up as well. It'll still feel a little bit comfortable as we move toward the middle of the week, but as we head into Wednesday, which is the middle of the week, a storm system is approaching, but you can kind of see this system. Best chances of precipitation look to stay north of the state with the low pressure center in Canada kind of swinging to the north and east, but you can see the Gulf of Mexico beginning to come up with some moisture moving up through the Mississippi River Valley. And you'll see that system here next Thursday, that disturbance over southern Hudson Bay, James Bay. Another system diving into the northwest and northern California as well. Bit of a ridge over the parts of Texas into the Gulf Coast region. But it's enough that enough moisture is going to come in that we could see a little bit of activity next Wednesday night into Thursday of next week, but we'll keep watching to see if this continues or the timing slightly changes. Going into the extended period on the 21st, we have another system disturbance moving into the central and southern plain states, a couple more going back into the Gulf of Alaska, and with that, it's going to keep the weather pattern a little bit active. We have a system moving through with a few showers, if this is to be correct. A little bit of activity in Florida and along the Gulf Coast, and a system diving into western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. And then as we go toward the end of the forecast here on the 25th, we have several systems, one moving off the Canadian Maritimes into the North Atlantic, another over the middle part of the country, mainly centered over the western parts of Ontario and Manitoba, and another moving through the Gulf of Alaska. And you can see the systems here on the surface map, one in the Canadian Maritimes, two in the middle part of the country with a frontal system, and three moving into the northwest and western Canada. Pretty much everywhere south of about Interstate 80 looks to be fairly dry except for the southeast. The satellite image from last evening, we had one system moving well away from the state. We have another system moving into the state. A couple of showers and thunderstorms along it last evening. A few were severe yesterday afternoon and evening in Nebraska and into northwest Iowa and Kansas. And monsoonal flow in the southwest. It's more or less going to keep it fairly wet with a couple of flash flood watches in Southern California. Heat across the San Francisco Bay Area. Some air quality problems in the San Joaquin Valley. Pretty much the rest of the country is dead quiet at this point. The QPF chart, precipitation over the next 5 days. This goes through Monday evening at 7 o'clock. Mainly a lot of the rain is today, with a little bit maybe later on, but about a quarter to a third, maybe up to a half an inch in some isolated locations.